Peace be with you. So I'm making this video because a lot of young people, young Muslim people, told me that they believe that the Quran is outdated, or at least that they were told that the Quran is outdated. So unfortunately, none of these young people have read the Quran, and this is why they can be led to believe that it is outdated. So I decided to make this short video to kind of address this issue. Is the Quran outdated? And the answer is no. Really, what's happening in the world, it's the world is cyclical. This is why you have that phrase, whoever does not learn from history is doomed to repeat it. Basically, our life experiences always stay the same. They never change. The stage changes, but the actors change because we live and we die, but the stage stays the same, and the play itself stays the same. The important things in life, the things that we all have to deal with, without exception, things like interaction with our parents, interaction with our friends, greed, lying, corruption, marriage, and matters of sex, um, matters of business. These are the things that are addressed in the Quran. Gossip. This is it. These are the only things that are addressed in the Quran. There's really nothing else that is addressed other than mentions of God and what God wants from us. So there's literally nothing outdated. These concepts stay important and relevant to all of our lives, whether we're riding on a donkey or flying in a car. We don't have flying cars yet, but maybe one day we will. But even if you're flying in a car, it doesn't matter. You're still going to have interaction with your parents. You're still going to have interaction with your friends. You're still going to experience greed. You're still going to experience fear. You're still going to experience war, maybe. You're going to experience violence. You're going to experience gossip, or you will be gossiping. You're going to experience bullying, or you will be the bully. The chances of all of that are very, very high, and it's applicable to all of our lives. This is why the Quran is timeless, because it deals with timeless issues that are always going to be with us. It deals with our soul. It deals with our inner thoughts. Basically, God tells us that, hey, I know that all of you are greedy, or that you're going to experience greed, so you have to fight against this urge, and this is how you fight against it. You give charity, and then God gives us an example of Karun, for example, who was so rich that the way it's explained is that a company of strong people couldn't carry keys to all his wealth, right? So the dude is super wealthy, a billionaire, maybe even a trillionaire. But what happens to him? So, and then God explains, all the people are envious of him. Most people are envious of him, except those who believe, right? And those who believe try to tell the other ones, this is not what it's about. You don't want that. You shouldn't be like that. And God warns this guy that don't be like that. Don't be arrogant, because he said that he earned it all by himself, right? That's what he believed. And God, warns him, don't be arrogant, and don't neglect your portion in this world, but give out of what God has given you. So these are the lessons we are taught. So, and they're timeless. And this is just one example. The destroyed cities, the things that were said, even the straight path, what the straight path is. All of these are timeless lessons. So the only way you're going to think that the Quran is outdated is if you've never read it yourself. And if you are one of these young people, just read it yourself. Listen, one of the things I realized after I reached my middle age, basically, is that people who are ahead of you don't know as much as you think they know. And sure, there are some experts, and you're going to know who they are by talking to them. And if well, you may not know who they are because you're going to believe them no matter what they say, because you believe that they are experts. But if you read the book yourself, then at least you're going to be able to identify who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't. Because I've had many people tell me, hey, this is in the Quran, and I know it isn't. So that's my advice. Don't take what you hear at face value. If you think the Quran is outdated, read it and see which part of it you believe that is outdated. Then you can talk to your friends. Then you can talk to other people. Then you can talk to experts, and they can tell, and ask them, why is this like this? Societies are sick right now. We are growing up in sick societies where all these evil things are presented to us as good. So we are told that for example, that modesty and how do you call it in English? Chastity are outdated. Where in fact, if you really look at it, these are the destroyer of lives. They're literally applicable to you if you're young, and they're not outdated. Chastity is literally the only way you can protect yourself from evil predators. So, and I think it's important to men and women. You have men predators and women predators. Men predate women for sexual favors, and some women predate men for financial reasons. And these are just one example. So if you are willing to jump into that pool of immorality, these are the type of people you're going to meet, because those who want to be honest, those who want to be kind, those who want to treat you right, they're not going to jump in that pool with you. So you'll never get a chance to be with good people if you don't uh, follow these precepts. And and if you think that they're outdated because of what society is telling you, then that's just, unfortunately, that's on you. You will have to deal with the consequences, just like the rest of us had to deal with the consequences. So so the Quran is definitely not outdated. These precepts are not outdated, even though everything around us is telling us that they are. But that is the devil. That is the devil who is convincing everybody by any means necessary that to do these things. So if that means convincing you that the Quran is outdated and doing all these things is the right thing to do, then hey, he'll do that. He doesn't care. By any means necessary. This is what he says to God in the Quran. I will come from in front of them and from behind them and from the side, their left side and from their right side, and you will see that most of them are not grateful. And God tells them that he can do that, and that only God's true servants are going to be able to resist that. And who are God's true servants? These are the ones that read the Quran, they study it, and then they do everything they can to follow it. And you're not going to be perfect right off the bat. It is very difficult. But just like if you start school, or if you start some sort of a sport, or even any sport, you suck at first. But then with persistence, you get better and better and better. So just this is very important to understand. So if you are a Muslim, you need to understand this and not be fooled by the society around you and the garbage that they're selling you, because it's just marketing. That's all they're doing is marketing. They show you evil and then they present it as good. And if you buy into it, that means if you buy into that, that means you don't have faith in God. You don't believe God. God tells you this is bad. God tells you, don't run out in the street after the ball because the car is going to hit you. And then or don't go into the van where the guy with the ice cream is going to rape you, but you don't believe it, so you go and you do it, and then you have to deal with the consequences. You can't blame anybody else but yourself. So no, the Quran is not outdated. It is there to protect you. It is there to give you a mindset of how to succeed in this life, and everything else is around you is against you. So it's very, very important to understand. So that's all I wanted to say, and this is especially for young people, because this is where I'm hearing this mostly from. So good luck to you guys, and I hope this actually kind of explains the situation, or at least convinces somebody to read the Quran and actually make an informed decision whether it's outdated or not.